Welcome to another edition of Inside New Line Cage Fighting. As always, I am your host, Daniel Miller, and with me is promoter / owner of Inside New Line Cage Fighting and New Line Cage Fighting, Keith No. And we have our guest back with us again, Austin Chapin. Today we're going to be giving you interviews with Bobby New, David Stroll, and Justin Richwine. Also, we're going to be giving you an updated predictions on our fight cards with Austin and myself. And also, we have a very special surprise for you later on in this video. And if you're new watching our channel, go subscribe to our YouTube channel, go follow us on Facebook, go follow us on Instagram, and go to newlinecagefighting.com to access all of the previous fights at our previous events.
Guys, I had an opportunity to interview David Stroll here. You guys check it out.
All right, David, man, I appreciate you for joining me for New Line Cage Fighting number 5 here. It says that you are 1-0 in amateur MMA right now, and you actually do a little bit of jiu-jitsu, and you got a blue belt in it. Tell me a little bit about your training coming into this fight.
I mean, to start, I feel very ready. I train a little bit of everything from striking, wrestling, jiu-jitsu. I go to a lot of different gyms as well. I train here in Morgantown at Ground Zero. I also go down to Bridgeport and get working with those fellows. I go back to Ryoma, which is the original academy. I trained at in Frostburg, Maryland, where I earned my blue belt. And Nomad Jiu-Jitsu, I hit up the open mat on the weekends sometimes to get working with those fellows as well. I get a lot of different, not opponents, but training partners, and I'm feeling very confident, feeling very ready.
Yeah, man. I was going to say, too, it looks like your opponent here is also 1-0 in MMA, and he does jiu-jitsu as well. Do you see his fight going to the ground or staying on the ground, or is it really just going to be whatever way it goes, you're prepared any route if you could take it?
I look at these amateur fights as an opportunity to learn a lot about myself as a fighter. So I'm going to go in there, be ready for everything, and where it ends up is where it ends up. I will definitely be looking for a finish in this fight. I mean, I probably won't be satisfied unless I get a finish, but wherever it goes, I'm willing to take it there.
Tell me what you've done different coming up to this fight than what you did your last fight, or have you just taken the same approach either way?
I'd say for this fight, I've definitely been training with a lot more different people. My last fight, I was just training at Ryoma Academy. My coach there, his name is Brent Walter. He's a professional fighter himself. Yeah, he was my corner in my first fight. He'll also be my corner in this fight. Not a whole lot different other than just traveling a lot to, get working with different people.
Is there a certain approach you want to take to this fight coming in?
I want to keep it on its feet at least a little bit. I really want to feel myself on the feet in MMA. I wouldn't say I'd be looking for a takedown right off the bat or anything. But if it does go to the ground, I have plenty of ways to finish it there. Very good at wrapping these noodles around someone's neck.
Right, so. Right. Is there a certain way you want to finish this fight? I know you said that you don't want it to go and let it be in the judge's hands. So, I mean, if you had a way to pick to finish the fight, what would it be?
Definitely either a KO or TKO on the feet, but whatever happens, happens. I'm cool with any other finish as well. My first victory was a triangle choke off my back. So I'm very willing to, if he takes me down, I'll be searching for submissions off my back, and whatever happens, happens.
Well, David, tell me, if you had one thing to say to your opponent right now, if he sees this video, what would it be?
You better be ready, man.
Nice.
I'm ready. You better be ready.
Nice, man.
Because this is an amateur fight, 2-minute rounds. The conditioning I go through is way more than that. I can go for a lot longer than 2-minute rounds, or 3 2-minute rounds.
Right.
So better be ready conditioning wise. Deep waters. I mean, I don't know how deep of waters we can get into in 6 minutes, but I will push him for sure.
Is there anybody you want to shout out in this video, David?
Really just all my training partners, Ground Zero, Ryoma, Nomad. Thanks to all of them. They really helped me put the work in for this fight, and I'm feeling very confident.
Well, David, listen, I appreciate you for joining us for New Line Cage Fighting number 5, and we look forward to seeing you on May 1st, and then hopefully you might be able to get that KO or that TKO victory you was talking about, brother.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Thank you.
All right, thank you, David.
Guys, that was my interview with David. Seems like to me he's ready to rock and roll.
All right, now we're going to go over the updated fight card as of today. Bout number 1, we have Sean Watkins from Youngsville, North Carolina, taking on Jonathan Wood from Roscoe, PA. Bout number 2, we have Timothy Blackburn from Van Leer, Kentucky, taking on Jalen Marshall from Lewisburg, West Virginia. Bout number 3, Matty Sammons from Williamson, West Virginia, boxing against Garrett Dehart from Logan, West Virginia. Bout number 4, Kyle James from Charleston, West Virginia, kickboxing against Jacob Ray from Del Barton, West Virginia. Bout number 5. Garrett Brannick from Wake Forest, North Carolina, taking on Jason Wilson, Frederick, Maryland. Bout number 6, Michael Watts from Chapmanville, West Virginia, taking on Mark Corns, also from Chapmanville, West Virginia. Bout number 7, Jacob Leemaster from Paintsville, Kentucky, taking on Tristan Swafford from Fayetteville, West Virginia. Bout number 8, Julius Perdue from Racine, West Virginia, taking on Shane McGrew from Scott Depot, West Virginia. Bout number 9, David Mullins from Lenore, West Virginia, taking on Bobby New from Varney, West Virginia. Bout number 11, Patrick Markham from Dingus, West Virginia, taking on Zachary Dehart from Logan, West Virginia. Bout number 12, David Stroll from Morgantown, West Virginia, taking on Joseph Caterton from Frederick, Maryland. Bout number 13, Jose Schultz from Madison, West Virginia, taking on Ricky Vance from Dingus, West Virginia. Bout number 14, Zachary Craddock from Madison, West Virginia, taking on Skylar Muller from Crooksville, Ohio. Bout number 15, Michaela Watkins from Youngsville, North Carolina, taking on Sherry Eckelberger from Richmond, California. Bout number 16, Matt Workman from Dingus, West Virginia, taking on Alex Davis from Coal Mountain, West Virginia. Bout number 17, Devin Stanley from Matewan, West Virginia, taking on Brian Roby from Frederick, Maryland. Bout number 18, Chad Tyler from Youngsville, North Carolina, taking on Kevin Miller from Tunnelton, West Virginia. Bout number 19, Chase Stafford from Oceana, West Virginia, taking on Nicholas Fisher from Roanoke, Virginia. Moving into the pro card, bout number 20, pro boxing, Mikey Fernier from Wheelersburg, Ohio, taking on Steve Walden from Midway, Georgia. Professional kickboxing, Matt Garrettson from Charleston, West Virginia, taking on Justin Richwine from Fairborn, Ohio. Bout 22, the main event, Chris Miles from Huntington, West Virginia, taking on Michael Jones from Norfolk, Virginia.
All right, guys, so I had the opportunity to sit down with Justin Richwine, making his professional debut as a kickboxer. You guys check it out. All righty, man. Hey, Justin, I appreciate you for joining me here. New Line Cage Fight number 5. Hey, I'm excited about this match right here. You're fighting for the championship. Reading a little bit on your background here, says that you were a 9-year Army veteran.
Yep. Did 9 years in the Army, 3 combat tours.
Yeah.
Stationed Alaska, Colorado, New York, 2 tours to Afghanistan, and a tour to Iraq. So, been all over the place.
Man, busy body for sure, man.
Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely. Hey, what do you think about coming here and fighting for the title?
Man, Keith reached out to me, and I had just fought a few weeks prior, and I fought in West Virginia before, and beautiful country. I love coming down there. I'm not that far. I was telling my wife, like, we're gonna have to stop at the High River on our way through so we can throw some lines in.
Yeah.
I'm excited, man. I'm just a normal dude, but I like to do this. I like to freaking compete. It ain't a macho thing for me. It's competition. It's fun. It's the thrill of it. So I'm excited to come down there, and I hear there's a crowd coming in now, so that makes it even better.
Right. Now your opponent, he has got 7 professional MMA bouts and 7 professional boxing bouts. So this guy is definitely a busybody in the fight world. What type of approach are you going to take to him in this fight?
The same thing I always do every fight. I'm ready wherever they want to go. And then if I kind of want to see where you want to go. And then if you want to go a certain way, then I'll play. Let's go. Really don't have a set game plan. I'm just going to do what I have to do and move and react and just feel it, feel the moment.
Definitely if you serving our country, man, which we appreciate you for that. And you did it for a long time. So obviously conditioning, how important that is, and keeping your body, in the right health to be able to compete and do what you need to do. What have you done this training camp to prepare for this fight?
Like I said, a few months ago, I fought, and I took, my week to rest and stuff, and I just stayed in here. I've stayed in the gym, I stayed active, helped coach, which let me slow down my game and, pick up the technical aspect and perfect that, and just staying active. I got a lot of good guys here. I train out of Dayton Vision MMA in Ohio. So I got a lot of good guys that just, can give me different looks, give me different height, sizes, speed, you name it. So I use that to my advantage. I wouldn't consider myself a slow guy. And if you've ever seen me fight, you'll realize I'm not a slow guy either. So I just go out there and have fun. I can't let emotions control what happens because it is a competition,
I know you said there really isn't a certain approach you was going to take to the fight. You're kind of just going to see where it goes. But is there been a certain thing you've been working on in your training camp for this fight, or just all aspects of the game?
Man, honestly, it's kickboxing, and I do a lot of MMA and stuff training anyway. So it's actually kind of been me slowing myself down. Because I don't want to get, not that we're not in a fight, but I don't have to worry about grappling, wrestling, jiu-jitsu. It's kicks, it's punches, the stuff that is my number one thing I like to do anyway. So it's kind of just take a breath and enjoy the moment. We have 4 3-minute rounds. Everything don't have to come out right off the gate. I got 4 rounds to do what I have to do.
So coming into this fight, your opponent has got a lot of experience inside the ring with the MMA and boxing and stuff. Are you concerned at all that he might be able to, use experience against you, or you feel like you're going to be able to match tempo no problem?
I should be able to match tempo no problem. I have 7, 8 professional fights myself, right. Boxing and MMA. I had 13, 14 amateur fights, won an amateur title. I'm not brand new to fighting and obviously war in general. It's in my spirit. So I'm not really concerned. I always respect my opponents, but it's a skill set performance, and my skill set is gonna outdo my opponent's skill set, and that's not talking trash. That's just the mindset that I have.
Is there a certain approach you see this fight going to as far as the finish? Do you see it go to the judges, knockout?
Everybody, and when you do this and fight, you always dream about that knockout. Everybody loves to see the knockout. I have plenty of knockouts, but I've also been taken into the deep waters and went distances in fights. So it's just in the fight game, it's being able to handle any of those situations. So if it's quick, it's quick. If it's long, I guess it's long. It just, it's one of those things that we have to experience it and figure out. There's no guessing, and I don't like to guess because that don't do anything.
Yeah, absolutely. You have to be prepared for whatever the fight throws at you. Like you said, everyone dreams about the big knockout. Everyone dreams about the 13-second McGregor Aldo knockout. You really do have to be prepared, for anything, because anything can happen. Now, if there was one thing that you could say to your opponent, what would you say to him?
Hey, competition, it's the heat of battle. Nothing but respect before and afterwards, That's it. We're going out here to have fun. You don't do this because it's not fun. There's a part of you that pulls at your spirit in there, and you want to do it because it's competition. It's time to show what you got. So, humble in the end, humble in the beginning, win, lose, draw. It's all good to me.
And that's what it's all about, because honestly, I really do believe that this fight is going to be a great fight. Not just because it's for the belt. You got 2 guys going at it that's had a lot of experience in both areas. Yeah. I really do believe it's 4 3-minute rounds. So I believe we are going to see a real engaging fight and a real exciting fight.
Yeah. Yep, absolutely. If you've ever seen me fight, it don't matter from amateur to pro to boxing to MMA. I always bring what I came there to do. It's not a, beauty pageant for me. I come here to fight, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to fight, win, lose, or draw. So.
And not only are you bringing the skill set, but we know that you're going to bring the fans, and you're going to bring the buzz with you, and that's what it's all about.
Yeah.
Now, is there anybody you want to shout out here?
Man, I got to shout out everybody. I got to shout out my wife. My wonderful wife deals with the training schedule, work schedule, and homeschooling our 3 kids. Especially with the pandemic, it's taking a toll on that too. But she keeps me solid. I got to thank my team, Dayton Vision MMA, Joe Miller, Jeff Fitch. all my training partners, Ezra Hines. Those guys, we've been through ups and downs, and they've traveled, across the states and country with me. And I also got to give a special shout out to my coach Gabe out in Pueblo, Colorado. He got me into this thing, and we still talk. He'll come see me in Ohio too, so it's nothing but love out there as well. So I just thank all those guys that's always supported me and always had my back no matter what.
Awesome, man. Well, Justin, listen, we look forward to seeing you May 1st at New Line Cage Fighting number 5, and we're excited to see what you got to bring to the table, brother.
Hey, I'm excited to come down. I want to hear the fans screaming and yelling. I love the noise. I love the chaos. So I don't want to hear a mouse fart in there. I want to hear some yelling going on,
Hey, and that's what we're going to be about May 1st.
All right, man. I can't wait to see you guys and get down there and perform well for you guys, all right?
All right. Listen, thank you for coming on, and we appreciate you for fighting this year.
Yes, sir.
And we are back with DNA fight predictions. We have 5 fights that are new to the card that Daniel and Austin are gonna give their fight predictions on. First up, we're gonna look at Maddie Sammons from Williamson, West Virginia, against Garrett Dehart from Logan, West Virginia. Garrett was a 2019 graduate at Logan High School. Maddie is a current high school senior at Belfry High School in Kentucky. Both guys are making their boxing debut. Garrett's brother, Zachary Dehart, is also fighting on the card. Zach's fighting in an MMA bout against Patrick Markham. Now, both of you guys know one of the fighters. You don't know the other. Daniel, you know Garrett Dehart. Austin, you know Maddie Sammons. What do you guys think about this?
Yeah, guys, I picked Maddie Sammons for the first time, but I might switch it up to Garrett just because I've always heard that he is the tougher fighter out of the brothers, and then I've heard that he's a pretty good brawler. Best of luck to both guys. I'd like to see my hometown boy win, but I just got to go with the statistics.
I agree with us on this one. I don't know who's the toughest one out of the 3 brothers. They're all tough to me, but I'm going to go with Garrett on this one.
All right, we're moving down to a new kickboxing bout. 147 pounds, Kyle James from Charleston, West Virginia. He trains at Butch Hiles, BJJ, and MMA. He's fighting Jacob Ray from Delbarton, West Virginia. Jacob has a 1-1 boxing record. How do you guys see this one going down?
I don't really know how Jacob's going to do in the kickboxing match. I know he's boxed 2 times. It's going to be exciting to see how the switch up's going to play out for him, but I'm going to pull with him. I'm going to see how he does. He is from Delbarton, and it's hometown right here in Mingo County, so I'm rooting for him. See how you do, Jacob.
Well, this one I'm going to disagree with Austin. I'm going with Kyle James. I know nothing about these 2 fighters. This one is just a flip of a coin. I'm going with Kyle on this one.
Okay, we're moving down. We have a super heavyweight kickboxing bout. Michael Watts from Chapmanville, West Virginia. He trains under Greg Dillon at Primal MMA in Madison. He's fighting Mark Corns from Pecksmill, West Virginia. Both guys are making their fight debut. Really excited about it. What do you guys think about this?
Man, it's a super heavyweight kickboxing match. It's going to be fun either way. I'm just excited to see 2 big boys going at it and that style of fighting. Man, I really, really don't know. I don't know if I can give a prediction. I really don't know anything about these 2. I think it's just going to be fun to watch all around. But for the sake of it, I'm gonna go with Michael Watts just because he does train out of Primal MMA, and I know they produce some pretty good fighters over there. So I'm gonna root for him. But either way it goes, it's gonna be a fun match to watch, guys.
Well, again, I know nothing about these 2 fighters. They both seem really tough. A little bit of me wants to pick Mark Corns, but I have to go with Michael Watts. Primal MMA is a very, very good training facility. I'm just going with Michael Watts on this one. Prove me wrong, though. Prove me wrong, Mark.
I know one guy who's going with Mark Corns on this fight, and that is Caleb Bridges. We were recently playing some flag football. Caleb caught a pass, turned upfield, ran straight into Mark Corns. He said it was like running into a brick wall. He bounced off, fumbled. So Caleb's going with Mark Corns. All right. So the next fight we're going to look at, it's a fight with Shane McGrew. Shane's previous opponent, Cliff the Great White, pulled out. So Julius Purdue stepped up on a week's notice to step in and replace him. My hat goes off to Julius for doing that. And, Shane's a 2-fight veteran. So the odds are stacked against Julius. It's his first fight, but this kid's excited to get in there, man. He's pumped up and he's confident and he's just ready to compete, man. He just wants to get his feet wet and get in there. Shane was really wanting to compete in MMA, but he still gets to compete. It's just going to do some boxing this time. So how do you guys see this fight going down?
Listen, any man that can step up on a short time's notice to come in and fight somebody, I've always got their back on it. So I'm going for Julius. Super proud and major respect for him. Like I said, anybody can step in on short notice, they got my respect. So let's go Julius.
Yeah, like we also say, anybody who steps in with short time notice, I have to pull for them, but not so fast. The 2-fight veteran, I'm picking the 2-fight veteran, Shane McGruer.
Okay.
Now we're moving down to the last new fight on the card. Steve Walden has now had 3 opponents on this card. His first opponent just couldn't get his blood work taken care of. The second opponent got pneumonia, had to pull out, spent several days in the hospital. So now Mikey Fernier from Wheelersburg, Ohio is stepping up to fight Steve. Mikey was originally scheduled to box on this card. His opponent pulled out as well. So, we were able to get these guys together here. Both guys are coming in 5'8", making their pro boxing debut with a lot of amateur experience between the two guys. Mikey Fernier had a 31-7 amateur record. Yeah.
Lord.
Yeah. Steve Walden is listed as 5-2, but that does not include his tough man and rough and rowdy fights. Mikey has fought a lot recently, these underground backyard fights. A lot of them are on YouTube. He fought for Underground Fight League, a thing with a dude they call Mighty Mouse, puts these things on.
Oh, yeah, I know.
And Mikey fought under the name The Unknown, so he had several fights there. Steve's last fight, he fought a really good fighter out of Pittsburgh, and it went the distance. Steve lost, but I mean this dude put it on him. But I mean this dude was legit, and they went the distance, went the decision. Steve lost the decision, but I mean he hung in there, man, and he fought hard. So how do you guys see this fight going down?
Listen, anybody has the privilege to fight under Mighty Mouse has to be one tough dude. Have you ever watched his YouTube videos? I mean, these guys are legit. So Mikey, I know he's got the ability to come in, be strong, and try to finish the fight early. But I'm going with my boy Steve. I ain't switching up. Going with Steve. I love Steve to death. And I believe that Steve is going to use his head a little bit more. He's going to preserve that cardio and that stamina. And I think he's going to try to take it, all the rounds he can go, and hopefully he comes up with the victory. But I'm not switching up. I still got to stick with my boy Steve.
Well, I recently picked Adam to beat Steve. I was actually in a toss-up between Adam and Steve. I went with Adam just because, again, of a coin flip. I mean, I've seen both of these two fights.
Coin flip.
They're fun. Now it's Mikey's turn. He's coming in. Mikey's a tough brawler. Mikey plans to knock Steve out quick. Steve has his game plan. I don't know who to pick on this one. I mean, they're both tough dudes, but if I honestly had to pick, I'm actually going with Steve on this one.
Let's go!
I'm going with Steve on this one.
Steve.
A 51-49% voting for me on Steve on this one.
Hey, it's going to be a good fight, but Steve, let's go. I feel like he's got the heart of a lion. Let's go. He's chugging beers in the interview, baby.
Yeah. Steve,
let's go.
Steve, if you watched the last video, I'm sorry to call you the Golden Georgia Boy. You're the Georgia Boy to me, man. I'm sorry.
He's the Michelob King.
This fight is right in the middle of Mikey's vacation from work. So he's going to be spending the week at Myrtle Beach, and he's driving up here Saturday to fight. Going to fight Steve, get back in the car, head back to Myrtle Beach. But he said he's going to get a couple beers with Steve before he heads back.
There we go.
There you go.
Guys, I had the opportunity to sit down with Bobby New. You guys check out that interview I did with him. So Bobby New from Gilbert, West Virginia. How you doing today, man?
I'm doing all right.
Good deal, man. Hey, listen, you're coming in 0-1 right now for MMA. You're fighting a guy that is doing his debut. I want to know what has got you fired up to come in here and seek that first victory, man.
I'm just ready for this win. I'm ready for this comeback, coming off of a loss from stoppage of ref, and I don't want no more stoppages of ref. I don't want no stoppages, no doctor, and I'm going to go with my opponent's view of what he's going to do. I'm going to do the same thing. If they want to take it to the ground, we're going to take it to the ground. If they want to stand up, we're going to stand up. But believe, war is coming. I am coming after that win.
Yeah, man. Tell me a little bit about your last fight. I mean, I know you came out with a loss and stuff. I want to know what you done differently as far as the last fight and then preparing for this fight. If you can give me a little bit of insight on what actually happened, the game plan you took towards the last fight, and what you may do differently here.
Yeah, the game plan for last fight was just to stand up and fight. It didn't go in that direction because I didn't really focus much on ground game.
Mm-hmm.
I put both efforts in ground game and stand up this time. I'm training both ways. I'm training very hard. I'm training 5 days a week. I'm doing most of my training 3 days a week on my own. I'm running 8 to 10 miles a day. I'm doing push-ups. I'm just doing all that I can do to stay in shape, and I'm right on point. I'm in the best shape I've been in a very long time since high school. I'm feeling very confident in myself. Yeah, like I said, it don't matter to me. We can stand up and fight, or we can take it to the ground. It don't matter to me. Grappling is not no issue this time. It was an issue the last time, and that's what cost me my loss, was grappling.
Are you more confident for this fight than you was the last fight?
Yeah.
This kid's coming in, he's making his debut. I haven't had an opportunity to talk with him to see what he's really focused on, but it seems like you're ready to go either way, and then definitely being in shape. It boils down to a lot of the problems you see with these guys, you know. By the time they get in the second, third round, man, they're winded. So is conditioning really something that you have put into your training just to make sure that you're ready to go all three if it has to go there?
Yes, my conditioning's been at the top. That's my cardio, and that's been my main focus. Grappling is my next focus. My stand-up game is just great. I can take a punch and I can give a punch. I'm very hard to knock out, and I'm more focused on cardio and being able to go all 3 rounds if it comes to it.
Now, you kind of already let me know your game plan a little bit, saying as far as if he wants to take it to the ground, you'll go there, stand up, you'll go there. But I mean, is there a certain approach that if you had to pick that you would go with for this fight?
No, not really. I mean, I'm a stand-up fighter. I'm an ex-boxer. I'm just coming into the MMA because it's something different. It's something mixed up.
Mm-hmm.
As far as coming into this next fight, I'm just coming in focused. I'm going to pay attention to my opponent, and I'm going to go from what he goes off of.
Well, do you have a fight prediction coming up May 1st?
Not really. I don't want to sound cocky or nothing like that and say that I'm going to win, because no one knows. It's just the fight game.
Yeah.
I'm hoping to come off with this victory. I'm going to do everything I can to come off with the win. I'm just going to fight. I'm going to get a good show, and I'm confident in the win myself. I've got a little bit of experience, and I'm ready to rock it.
You know, me and the guys with New Line Cage Fight was talking about, you know, you've already got a fight under your belt, which is good. I mean, win or loss, I mean, this guy hasn't been in the cage, and it is a whole different ball game from, let's say, sparring, practice, than actually getting in there and doing the real deal. You know, when you got the cameras on you, the fans, the lights, and I mean, just the adrenaline pumping in general, you have already got that experience under your belt. And what we was talking about was that we think that you're going to be hungry, and you're going to have a little bit more experience, and you're going to know how to handle the moment a little bit better. But either way, we believe it's going to be a really good fight. But I mean, like we was talking about, we really do think that you're going to be focused, prepared, just because you've already been there, done that before. So, but if there's anything that you had to say or want to say to your opponent, what would you say to him?
Just give it his best. Try his hardest. That's all I can say.
Absolutely, man. Well, Bobby, listen, I appreciate you for joining us for New Line Cage Fighting number 5, and we look forward to seeing you on May 1st and hopefully picking up that first victory in MMA, brother.
That's it. I appreciate you, Austin, for having me. And I want to give a shout out to Keith for putting on the New Line Cage Fighting, these events for us to do, for us fighters to put on shows. I really appreciate that.
Absolutely, man. Well, Bobby, like I said, once again, thank you for coming on here, speaking with me, and you have a good one, brother.
You too, Austin. Take care.
Guys, recently our governor has lifted the capacity limits on events. So we can now pack out the Madison Civic Center. We can get 1,200 people in this building. So
please wear your mask, guys. Please wear your mask.
Tickets are still available online. We have cage side, we have tables, we have general admission bleacher seats. There's not going to be a bad seat in the house.
Get your tickets while you still can.
Selling quick.
Get your tickets from newlinecagefighting.com. If you can't make it, we do have a pay-per-view stream. The stream link is right there on newlinecagefighting.com when you log on. We have 22 fights. Going to be a really exciting night. So you definitely don't want to miss this.
All right, now it's time for the special surprise I promised you. Take a look.
We got Matthew Wortman, and we got our buddy Alex over here. I want to start off with Alex. I talked a lot with Matt. Tell me what you've been doing as far as training and getting ready for his fight.
Been doing a lot of cardio, man, working on my strike, a little bit of ground game. I've been standing up raw. Keep it interesting for the fans.
Heard that. You got any tactics, certain game plans you're going to go with, or just go with the flow?
But we're going to go in there, bite down on the mouthpiece and swing for the fences and see what happens.
There you go. Matt, I'm going to ask you the same question, man. What have you been doing to get ready for his fight?
I have about the same with him. Get pretty much a lot of cardio. It's big boys, you know. We got to have some more wind. We ran a lot quicker than them boys, but it sounds like he got the same strategies I got there. It sounds like he's a matcher. We're going to match those energy. And I believe it's going to be a good one. I believe mine and Ryan's fight ain't going to touch this one.
No, definitely not. So, coming up with this fight, Matt, May 1st, you're obviously going to go in head hunting. We saw with the Ryan Hall fight, you know, you kind of played around a little bit with him. You know, in the second round, you ended it. I mean, what's the strategy for this fight? I mean, is it just going to be no mercy, or are you guys going to play around a little bit?
I believe it's more to let the fans on edge on this one. Let them kind of see. I don't want to give too much. I don't believe this one's going to be a knockout. I believe we're going to have some nerves racked, and I believe it's going to go to the third round, and I believe that's when the war's going to begin.
That's definitely going to be a good fight. I definitely feel like this fight's going to probably be in contender for fight of the night, so you guys got to make sure to check that out. Now, Alex, I know you said as far as game plan, you're just going to go in there and try to bust some heads, but what's your fight prediction on this?
It's going to be a hard Dutch match. Should be close. It's a fight that can end at any second, but it can also go a distance at all at war too.
Matt, what's your fight prediction?
I believe it's going to come down to third round. Third round's what's going to determine it. It could go to knockout. It could go to decision. But I believe our third round's going to be the one that truly determines.
Whoever can dig deeper later in the fight.
That's right. Who wants it more?
So what's y'all's predictions? I mean, who wants it more?
I'm coming in to take his head off.
I ain't going out no loser's retirement.
I ain't starting off no loss.
You heard it right there. Is there anything that you guys want to say or add into it?
War's coming. Like I said before, I hope he's got the hands like Shane. If not, I'm a stalker and a grizzly bear. We'll see how it comes out.
Anything you want to say to him?
Talking about a guy that fought years and fought 100 pounds lighter than me. I got something a lot sweeter than sugar had.
Maybe them pretty little lips.
Maybe.
All right, well, if that's all you guys got to say to each other, let's get this face off on. My boys come on in. All right, yeah. New Line Cage Fighting number 5 coming at you May 1st. Make sure you check it out because this fight is one that you have to see. You will not be disappointed.
That's all we have for you today, guys. Remember, New Line Cage Fighting 5 is this Saturday coming up. Get your tickets. Get your butts in the seats. Watch it. Enjoy this event. Again, if you're new to subscribing, go subscribe to our YouTube channel. Go subscribe to us on Instagram. Follow us on Facebook. Go to newlinecagefighting.com to get all your fights. As always, I am Daniel Miller with Keith Snow and Austin Chapin signing out. See you next time.